This is an R Media podcast.
What does homemaker mean to you?
They love their home and they want it to look beautiful, but they also have a full-time job, but they love hosting their friends.
Yeah.
And perhaps they're trying to learn tips, tricks, ways to make their home experience better because they have a genuine interest in it. How I approach and how I encourage people to approach their rooms and their homes is with that patience and play and layering.
I have a confession to make. I don't always make my bed, and I know that I should, being the editor of an interior design brand, but I just don't. And I think many of us have these shortcuts just to get through the day with as little friction as possible. Today's guest is interior designer and content creator Briellyn Turton, and she's sharing her perspective on why interior design and styling, it's not just about creating a beautiful home, but it's about making every day easy. She treats interior styling like getting dressed. It's playful, it's changeable, and it's responsive to how you feel that day. I'll say especially in the non-permanent final layer of a room. Plus, she has got the best tip I've ever heard on how to host beautifully. Enjoy. Brie, welcome to The Edit. It's lovely to have you here.
Thank you so much, Elle. I am so pumped to be here.
Oh, me too. I was getting dressed this morning and I was thinking about today and what we'll chat about, and I've just bought a new handbag. And
love it.
I just love a handbag. And the colour is oxblood, which I'm obsessed with. And I was looking around my home thinking, I really do decorate the way I dress because I've just got out the autumn cushions and they're all in the same colours, rich rusts and reds. And then I realised I've got a bit of a problem because I do have seasonal cushions. So I'll go through, I've got the winter set and the spring set and the summer. And I'm not rigid about it. I do mix them up. But talk to me about you and fashion and interiors. Do you do the same?
Oh, you've started me on something I could talk about all day, so that was your mistake. I love fashion and I obviously love interiors as well. And I do approach styling my outfit like I do a home. And what I'm wearing today is a great example because it's high-low, it's old, it's new, it's like scavenged in thrift stores. Like this blazer's my husband's.
Is that a seersucker?
Because it looks. Oh my God, he's going to be so impressed you knew that. It is a seersucker.
It's a beautiful brown seersucker. For anyone who's listening and can't see, it's gorgeous.
Yes,
so that's a men's blazer.
This is men's blazer, and like a little bit of texture going on, almost to the point where it's a pattern. Blouse is thrifted.
Yeah.
Jeans are new, bit of denim, but like a twist on denim. You know, like anytime I do something.
Share the twist.
It's like an open embroidered pattern on these jeans. Mixed metal jewelry from everywhere, like auction, gift, Paris. You know, like I just really like collecting things. I think that excites me, and that's exactly how I approach and how I encourage people to approach their rooms and their homes is with that patience and play and layering.
So do you mix up your interiors? Because I've seen pictures and I absolutely love what you do. You've got this screen in your home.
Yes.
Explain, what does that look like?
So it's this beautiful vintage 6-panel hand-painted screen.
Yeah.
And we're renting. So as you can imagine, I was unbelievably bored by not being able to control the walls and stuff like that. I've got a pretty nice art collection with really large pieces, so that's helpful. But that was just a piece that I thought, I can move this around. It can be as, you know, you can spread out the screen, make it as long as you want. You can make it more compact. So that was kind of my little way to control my environment, particularly we're living in open plan.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess that's exactly what those room dividers are for, right? To divide the rooms. So that's a really fun larger styling piece that I have, particularly in a rental.
Absolutely. What else have you done in your rental to personalise it?
Well, I mean, I'm married to a real estate agent. I'm an interior designer. So we do kind of make decisions and ask for forgiveness later. So we do, you know, we do hang art on the walls. We do mount our TV. And I know people, for good reason, have reservations because they don't want to get in trouble. But
if anyone knows how to fix it back
you just fix it.
Exactly.
Yeah, you just put that into I chalk that up to being absolutely a worthwhile investment. You know, if you're going to live in a place for a year, 2 years, 3 years, you want the art on the walls. So you just pay a professional to patch it up when you leave.
So I love those tips for personalising your rental. Why don't you take us on a tour of that place? So this is the one with it's got a big staircase in it.
Yes, it's kind of like a loft, sort of a closed loft situation. Double height ceilings, which obviously starts you off on the right foot in terms of scale and natural light. We're lucky enough to have draperies that are full height, which is unbelievable.
And do you see these from the front door? So if I'm coming over and you open the door, what's the first thing I'd see?
Oh, you see this expansive open plan room, double height glazing with the curtains. So beautiful. You kind of walk into the living room and then the little dining area is just off to the left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And your dining area with those chairs.
I know. Aren't they good?
Explain, what are they? Where did you find them?
One of my pastimes is really digging deep for vintage. Like it's almost like I just get locked in and I can spend hours, whether it's in person in a dusty store or online.
It's addictive.
It's addictive and it's so satisfying.
Yeah.
So originally I had purchased 4 dining chairs from Soft Focus House, which is a gorgeous little curated vintage person in Victoria. Yeah. They were wonderful, but there was only 4 of them and I should take my own advice because I knew I needed dining chairs that were going to tuck because there wasn't too much space.
Oh, that's interesting. Not everyone thinks about that.
And I knew it, but I just love these chairs so much I bought them anyway. So sure enough, 6 months later, I'm like, number 1, we need 6 chairs. And number 2, it'll be really fantastic if they tuck. So I sold those. And then I found these beautiful 1970s, again with the chrome leg and a beautiful green pattern, original upholstery, which is what really made me fall in love. It wasn't quite the colour I was looking for, but again, that's where I think play and creativity is really important because to have the original 1970s upholstery is pretty special. That in itself is going to bring an energy into the space.
Exactly.
So they're gorgeous. 8 of those, adore them.
What do you say to people who might think, oh, but maybe it's a bit worn or it's got some marks on it? How do you live with that?
Yeah. Well, you know, some people can't, right? Like we've got clients that I know can't live with that. It will really bug them. So that's just something that if you know that of yourself, don't try because it's going to annoy you. But most people, I think, when they know the origin, the story, and the pieces mean something, it brings it. It brings that sort of old soul. Yeah. So I, for example, am absolutely fine. In many cases, preferable because you can see it's lived a life. Yeah. And it's similar. This might be a long bow to draw, but when we're talking to clients about their kitchens and we're talking natural stone or engineered, many clients understand that natural stone will, over time, show marks and imperfections, but that's showing the life that's happened in the home. And some clients just want a really neat, tidy.
And that's okay too.
So it's just about knowing how you want to live in your home, and that's how you can make those decisions.
What's up the staircase?
Bedroom and a little ensuite. Yeah. Nothing really too exciting up there. I did get a king bed that was far too big for the space, but that was a call that I knew I was making, knowing it was a rental. You know, it's like
you invest in what you want.
That's right. Yes, that's right. So upstairs is probably the least interesting part of the house, just a compact, neat and tidy little bedroom and a tiny, tiny little ensuite. All the fun stuff is down in the main area.
I see. And now the reason I wanted to ask about this place is because that is the home that's on your socials and we've all seen it. But actually, plot twist, you've moved.
We just moved this week, yes. And it's going to be really interesting getting settled into this new house because it's going to be a lot tougher to decorate.
Why?
The ceilings are lower. It gets less natural light. There's, a few kind of pokey little bulkheads. There's only one place for the TV. It's just, there's going to be a few more challenges, which is exciting. I'm excited to do it.
Yeah. And so what was it about this place?
Well, it's got a gorgeous courtyard, like a big, expansive courtyard. We have a very large, active little dog, so we knew how much she was going to love that. But also we love hosting family and friends, and I just think that having a courtyard that can fit, that feels good to be and can fit like a big lounge and a big dining table, that is really exciting to us. Having the barbecue, that sort of thing. And I also fell in love with the bedroom in this place, which is so interesting because I think in the place we were just talking about, the bedroom was not the most exciting part. In this one, we have this huge bedroom. It gets the most incredible natural light. There's this big magnolia tree out right in front of it. So it's just really special feeling in the bedroom. It's really beautiful.
So then do you choose a home based on a feeling as much as practicalities? Because like you said, you're an interior designer, your husband's in real estate. That would make for an easier search for a home or a trickier one?
Both, I think. It's when we're looking, unfortunately, he is the expert. So a lot of the time the actual house comes down to him. I might say, what about this area? And he's as specific as, if we're going to go to this suburb, I think we should be on this street, or this street, right? So
that narrows it down.
It certainly does. So he's the captain of that.
Yeah.
And then really, I guess the final call is with me based on, like you said, the function and the feeling.
Yeah. What can you do with it?
That's right. But I mean, we used to butt heads a little bit at the start because, of course, we both have serious opinions because it's both of our jobs, right? But we've both now come to the conclusion to let the other one be the expert in the field. So he'll generally find the place or the short list of places.
Yeah.
And then the furniture and the actual, is this going to work? Yes, no, is kind of up to me now, which is nice. He, of course, has opinions. And I say, how seriously would you like to hold this opinion? But generally, that's how we worked out. It works really well.
That is tricky. I mean, my husband works in a gym. So if he has opinions about the home, I just say, well, listen, who's the expert here?
That's right. That's right. Yeah. So that's how it works.
Now, you were saying that you chose this place. One of the reasons was the courtyard and the entertaining space. I've seen some of your entertaining tips, and the one that I love the most is, if you're having people over, always start with an empty dishwasher an empty bin.
Yes.
That is the best.
Isn't it? And I hate to say, and she's absolutely going to listen to this podcast because she's a great hype girl of mine, I actually got that dishwasher tip from one of my best friends, Georgia.
Oh, thanks, Georgia.
I know. And I'm like so annoyed that it's not my tip. But she told it to me years ago. And it's
for giving
so
credit.
good. It's so good. The bin is something I tacked on, obviously. But it's such a game changer. Honestly, it's like this most simple thing you would never think of, especially if you're in a flurry, know, but it makes your life so much easier.
Definitely. And particularly if you have an open plan
home, an
open plan kitchen.
Yes, that's right.
If you've got people over and you can just put everything away. It's so
put it
much
away,
better.
but also then you don't have to be standing there hurriedly unpacking the dishwasher, trying to put stuff and just missing out on the fun, right? That's what I hate when people lock themselves away in the kitchen and work so hard while they're entertaining. It's like you should be out there enjoying yourself.
So talking about fun, you are big on whimsy.
Yes.
What does whimsy mean to you?
If you want to boil it right down, it's creating spaces that really bring out, again, I keep using the word, playfulness and just rest, because I think that life, work, all of that has gotten a lot more chaotic and demanding.
Yeah.
For most people, we're out of the house for longer than we were. And even if you're working from home, you're still working a full day. So whimsy to me is essentially decorating and living in a way that makes you really happy, like really happy, childlike happy, like it looks a little bit different to everyone, but generally it's unconventional. Perhaps if you were decorating in whimsy, I might walk in and think it's not for me. And if I decorate in whimsy, you might walk in and think not quite for you. And that's exactly what it should be.
Yeah.
It should not appeal to everybody.
Yeah.
It should be inherently you. And it's just about not taking it so seriously, I think.
It's interesting that you're saying this because we had Greg Natali in here on The Edit a little while back, and he was saying that these days interior design is taken too seriously.
Yes.
And I love that you are making it more playful. How do you do that for clients?
It really starts with what I like to call an interrogation. We really ask them so many personal questions.
Yeah.
I warn them up front. I'm going to ask you questions.
If you're going to be interrogated, you want to know.
It's like, I'm going to ask you questions that you will be thinking, why on earth does she need to know this? But
so what would you ask me?
One of the most basic ones that we start with, we've got a list of descriptive words, and I'll say, Elle, here's 8 words. Choose as many as you want, but really think about it. How do you want your home to make you feel?
Yeah.
anywhere from calm and relaxed to inspired and creative.
Yeah.
And that gives us a really good understanding of how your home needs to be, right?
Okay.
Like if you have a really demanding job and it's full on and you're surrounded by lots of furniture and art and color every day, maybe that gives you energy and you want that in the home. Or maybe you want to come home and have a blank slate. And the only way we're going to be able to design a home that works really well for you is getting inside your mind and understanding, because there's so many different ways to take it for different reasons. Other things like if you had the house to yourself for a weekend, the family's out, phones on do not disturb.
Oh.
Tell me minute by minute if you want what you're doing. Is it, and be honest with me, like is it lying on the couch and binge watching reality TV for an entire one of those days? Like tell me that, because I need to know.
Yes, it is.
Yes. So,
champagne in hand, actually not the couch, I'd probably be in bed.
See, exactly. And then I'm like, got it.
Yeah.
I know exactly what we need. So it's those sort of questions that really allow us to create super personal and exciting into, like, how good is that if you're going to live in this house for however many years and it is set up for your exact dream routine. It makes it easier for you to achieve that routine and more frictionless. Yeah. That's it.
And breaking the rules. I always used to live by the rule of never have a TV in your bedroom. But then I had a baby and thought, well, actually, it might be nice to have a TV in the bedroom. Best thing I've ever done.
Exactly. I
love it.
And the way that you're speaking about, like, we're just talking about a TV, right? But the way that, but it's not about being a TV. It's about the moment that gives you, whether it's, I don't know if it's when you're breastfeeding or it's when you're trying to wind down. I don't know, but that has created such a positive impact in just a mundane day.
Exactly.
Yes.
Even now that he's older, he and my husband, the boys are downstairs watching sport and I'm upstairs watching Housewives.
Reality TV with a glass of champagne. Yeah. Can you invite me over? That's exactly what I want.
So if you had to be your own client, knowing you're moving into a new home, what would you ask yourself? What are your rituals that you need day to day that maybe you were missing in your previous home?
I know, firstly, terrifying thought, me being my own client. I have too many ideas and opinions, but I also like to sometimes take risks in my home that I would be too scared to take for a client. Like I'm willing to sacrifice myself, you know.
You're
for the
a good woman.
I know. And then sometimes I regret it. Like sometimes I do and I'm like, oh, okay, cool, that didn't work. But I wake up, my phone's not next to my bed because I haven't doom scrolled on it the night before, you know, because I've got.
So where do you keep it?
Well, currently in the bathroom or on my husband's side of the bed because he will like slap it out of my hand if I try to get it.
Good habits.
It's in the bathroom because then I can still hear my alarm. Getting out of bed, making the bed, that's something that is, again, one of those very, very small and seemingly mundane items that you're making the bed now in the morning, even if maybe you're running late. But then when you get home, you just thank yourself 1,000 times. So, you know, like that is such a mundane piece of a morning routine puzzle. But
if you can do it.
That's right.
I have to be honest, I don't do it every day these days.
I know.
I used to, but
I know. And then
every of getting a little people out the house.
Exactly. And then if you did do it, I guarantee you'd walk into your room and be like, thank you, Elle. Thank you, morning Elle, for doing that, because now I feel lovely. So up straight into the bathroom, have a, you know, gorgeous shower, skincare routine, which again could be as easy as hard as you make it based on how you've set up your bathroom counter.
Yes.
Right?
Are you products on the counter or products in the cupboard?
Luckily, where we've just moved, I have the most fabulous, enormous vanity shaving cabinet, mirrored. So I think I'll be able to put everything in there, which is just very exciting to me to open it and see all of my skincare, makeup.
It's like shopping.
Yeah, like a little magpie. So that would be that. And then, you know, downstairs, again, a really crucial part of a morning routine that sounds mundane, but it's like, how many steps are you taking in the kitchen to get your coffee or your breakfast or whatever you're doing? Yeah. So if you're renting, for example, that's as simple as actually thinking about the location of the coffee machine on the counter as opposed to where the cups are.
Absolutely.
And again, this comes back to the interrogation that I give my clients. Perfect example is one client. You can't assume everyone drinks coffee, because I have one client who in the morning, the first thing she does is actually drink bone broth. And if we just assumed everyone woke up to a tea or coffee, how wrong would that frictionless step be? So knowing those sort of details is what allows us to do really bespoke and
definitely
functional design.
Speaking of functional design, I have a really good tip, not just for renters, but for anyone who needs to get more storage out of their overhead cupboards in the kitchen.
Yes.
If you look inside, most of them have the little drill holes where you can put more shelves in.
Yeah.
There is the perfect space in the middle that is about mug height. So if you just get one extra shelf cut, and you can get it for under $10 and put that in, all of a sudden
you've just unlocked like a whole width of storage. Exactly. Also, if there's there's always a high shelf that you're like, well, I'm not going to put an everyday stuff on there because I can't really reach it. So I recommend getting baskets up there, because then at least you could grabbing a basket and pulling it down.
I love a basket.
Love a basket.
They're timeless.
They are.
What does timeless mean to you?
Timeless to me is, well, number one, quality, and secondarily, things that you love and you've taken time to collect or that really excite you, even if they're not of the moment. That actually is completely irrelevant if you love it, because it's going to be timeless in your home.
Exactly. How do you give people the confidence to trust that? That's
actually a really good question, because it is difficult getting people to trust their style.
Yeah.
We obviously guide them, and, you know, some people actually truly don't know what their interior style is because they've maybe never prioritized it like they are now, or they've never had the money to think about it. But I think the confidence comes from, number one, you can see when someone's eyes light up about something.
Yeah.
And I actually relay back to them, well, when I showed you that sample as opposed to this sample, your reaction was far more, like you seemed really excited about this one.
Yeah.
Even if it was an option they didn't think they would like. And then they do go, yeah, I really liked it. I'm like, what do you like about it?
Yeah.
Or on the reverse side, like, what don't you like about it?
Yeah.
You know, I've just come from a client meeting this morning where the paint started going on, and the client called me saying, like, this is too dark. I'm freaking out. So I'm like, okay, let's meet on site.
Yeah.
And after a conversation, explaining things, he didn't like the color. That's fine. Like, we need you to like it, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, and then after the conversation, he, you know, between myself and the builder telling him what it might look like, he started to second guess himself, and he's like, oh, maybe we just leave it. And I said, no, trust your instincts.
Yeah.
Your instincts were, I don't like it.
That's
then
okay.
That's okay.
Yeah.
And so trust your instincts. As soon as you say someone, trust your instincts, then they can go, yeah, I did like that one. I really did like one. Or I'm still thinking about that. So it's like, okay, there we go. So I think it's trust building with me. They trust me to encourage them, I think is important.
I'm finding Brie so encouraging, and she's about to share with us why you should be designing for your forever home right now. Plus, she answers a listener dilemma on how to de-beige a rental. We have a listener dilemma.
Okay.
So people write to us here at The Edit because they know we have such great guests on with their expertise, and this question is perfect for you to answer, I think. So we'll
hopefully
answer it together. So it's from Desperate to De-beige.
I love it already, yeah.
Yep. And the question is, Dear The Edit, do I buy for now or forever? So I'm renting in a city where I could be asked to move with barely any notice. Yep. Oh, we know what that's like.
Yes.
But I'm craving a home that feels more considered than a patchwork of flat pack. I want bold furniture, maybe a custom shelf that actually fits my books, and pieces that support the way I live, where I drop my bag, how I work from home, my nightly wind down. But I keep talking myself out of it, because what if the next place has a totally different layout? I end up buying safe, generic pieces that work everywhere but don't really feel like me anywhere. So how do I decide when to invest in expressive, ritual-friendly furniture and when to stick to flexible basics? I don't want to wait for the hypothetical forever home to start living like I deserve one. Oh, that's beautiful. So signed,
we don't have
Forever Home Energy, short-term lease.
So we don't have an actual name, but iconic. I completely understand. And I think, again, it's so funny. I was just talking about trusting myself, because I think if this listener reads that back or just listen to that back, that is about trusting yourself.
It is.
It's like the head and the heart situation, right? I think that, to me, it is invaluable to be in love with and at one with the space that you live in.
Yeah.
It's so important to recharge.
Yeah.
So from my point of view, you know, you're talking, will it be the right size or layout for the next place? If you truly love items, I actually think 9 times out of 10, you'll make it work.
Yeah.
I'm a great case study because where we just moved to, it's tighter in terms of a layout than the open plan situation. So I did have to sell some bits and pieces.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that because I bought pieces I loved. I enjoyed them while I had them. And because they were beautiful pieces, I was able to sell them and not, you know, lose a great deal of money, for example.
Yeah.
So the flip side to that is you purchase flat pack, which you're bored by, you don't feel inspired or excited by. And then if that's wrong for the next place, well, you're not selling that.
No, exactly.
You know, and I think it's nice to be able to, when you're buying these pieces that mean something to you, again, you put energy into those pieces and then you sell them on. I love the idea of that.
Yeah.
So I'm always an advocate for decorating like it's the forever home. DM me on Instagram. I'll give you some tips because I'm obsessed with this question because it's so real.
It absolutely is.
It really is. And it's so important to me that people are excited, inspired, comfortable, in love with where they live. Go for your life. Full permission from me.
So, Brie, as someone who works in interior design, where do you go for your inspiration?
I search far and wide. I think that I try specifically to cast a wide net. Like I specifically don't look at interiors for inspiration. So again, like we touched on before, it's fashion, it's often travel, it's even a lot of times if I'm just stuck on something. Like for example, I was trying to design a custom bedside the other day and I just picked up a coffee table book and flicked through. And it's just like a shape of something.
Yes.
A shape of a flower. Like, you know, it's that sort of getting in that creative mindset and kind of almost looking or just seeing what will unfold. And even if it's a really silly idea at the time, it usually builds, you know, like I think you can start with 10% of an idea, but just something that sparks and then you can go from there. But in terms of people, designers that are inspiring, I mean, obviously our Lord and Savior, Kelly Wearstler, I know that's a pretty basic answer, but
icon.
An icon.
She's brave.
Yes, she's brave. She plays with materials in a very curious way. Locally, Flack, David Flack, I love the way he, again, works with material, palette, scale, all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then honestly, I'm lucky enough to go to a lot of industry events.
Yeah.
And every time I go there and I meet my peers, you know, like another design studio owner or whatever, the conversations we have are so good. We have the best local industry here.
Like, what do you talk about?
Like,
what do interior designers talk about when they get together?
Everything. It's like, oh, how do you do this? Or I'm having trouble with, you know, this in my business. How do you do, you know, I find that I get a lot of inspiration from other interior designers who own businesses who sometimes have decades more experience than me. Sometimes are at the same stage. And it's just really, really inspiring.
Trading stories.
Yes, that's a great way to put it. Trading stories.
Yeah. So you are, I'll say it, a social media sensation.
Oh my goodness, thank you.
Do you look at other accounts? Do you doom scroll or do you pick up inspiration online?
I do doom scroll. Yeah, unfortunately.
What do you scroll?
Oh my God, all sorts of things. Right now I'm on food TikTok.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I'm just like in a bit of a cooking era at the moment. So that's, I do find that I look at, again, not necessarily other interior design accounts. Sometimes yes, but sometimes it's more like I get inspiration from creativity through social media. Yeah. Sometimes it's interiors, sometimes it's not.
Beyond the literal.
Yeah.
I think you summed that up really well when you're talking about seeing inspiration in travel or nature. And I can get inspired being in the art gallery and people think, oh, yeah, well, you know, art in a home. But actually, maybe it's the frame I'm looking at.
Absolutely.
And maybe it's the colours of the frame with the mat. And that could work really well as a room scheme.
Yes.
It is looking beyond the literal.
And it's being very curious.
Yeah.
And again, like childlike. Like, don't take something literally, really get in there, get up close, scavenge around, have a look and be curious. Like, what is that? That looks like leather, but actually, what is that? What is that color palette? Take a close-up photo and then you've just got that palette on your phone. Yeah, things like that I think are really interesting.
Where is the whimsy?
Where is the whimsy? That's right. You can find the whimsy anywhere. You just have to be looking for it.
A lot of younger people are for example, on TikTok, looking for homes inspiration, interior design, and homemaker inspiration. What does homemaker mean to you? Because it's quite different now.
I think immediately when I think traditional, old school homemaker, I think about that being predominantly a woman who probably spends the day in the home. And so she has time to perfect a hospital corner on a bed and, set the table properly every day. There's time because that's dedicated days. She probably was rearing children at the same time, but still it's in the home. These days, homemaker could be someone that's not in the interiors industry, but they love their home and they want it to look beautiful, but they also have a full-time job, but they love hosting their friends. So to me, it's very dynamic. What is a homemaker? Homemaker is someone who cares about their home, and perhaps they're trying to learn tips, tricks, ways to make their home experience better because they have a genuine interest in it. And it's probably someone who maybe they do work in the industry, but Australians are so interested in home now. We invest so much in it. We care a lot. We spend, if you're working from home, you're still in the home all day, even though you're doing other things. So I think the modern homemaker is a hybrid. They're doing other things they don't have all day to be homemaking. So they're prioritizing what's important to them, whether it be time, money, effort. And that's where their energy is going in their homemaking. If they don't cook, maybe they've got an empty fridge, but guess what? The coffee table is styled to perfection. It's just about prioritizing what's important.
Okay, we have some quickfire questions. So answer as quickly and honestly as you like. Elaborate if you want.
Okay.
But the first question I have is, in your home, shoes on or off? And what does that rule say about you?
Okay. I'll give you a hot take. I don't care. And what that says about me is I'm quite type B, actually. No, I often find myself, if I'm trying to be productive in the home, this is so niche, but you asked. I'm trying to be productive in the home, shoes on.
Okay.
If I'm working from home, shoes must be on.
Serious.
Very serious.
Yes,
if
we're
I'm
working.
Cleaning, socks and slippers, right? If I'm relaxing, shoes off. If someone walks into my home and keeps their shoes on, I really don't mind. If you walk in disgusting, dirty work boots, I'm probably going to say, could you take your shoes off? But, my girlfriends come over for cocktail hour and the shoes are part of an outfit. Far be it for me to tell them to take it off. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. I'm getting Carrie Bradshaw.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. You've worn those shoes to my house too because I like fashion. I'm not telling you to take them off. Walk around.
All right, next question is matching towels or collected over time? And are you full hotel style or do you like more of a lived-in linen cupboard?
Okay, so this goes against usually everything else I'm about, but I'm a matching towel girl.
Okay.
And I think that's because I find that often if you're renting per se, if you're renting specifically, in Sydney, you're very, very lucky if you've got a gorgeous bathroom. So
That's true.
So I like to feel a bit more put together. The last couple of homes we've had have been beautiful homes, but they've been dull or dated or just boring bathrooms. So for some reason, to me, in this specific area, I love a matching set because it makes it feel more elevated to me.
Yeah.
Perhaps if I, was in my dream designed bathroom that I'd done inch by inch, maybe mismatched would make sense.
Okay.
But to me, I really do love matching, which is not my usual take.
Do you monogram?
Love a monogram.
Yeah, me too.
For my first Valentine's Day with my husband, we were just seeing each other. I got us monogrammed pillowcases with our initials on them. He would have thought I was very keen. They've since been thrown out. This was 10 years ago. No, they were on. But no, I love a monogram. I think it's fun. I think too much monogram gets a bit crazy, but I think it's fun. It's chic. And people like to put their personal touch on things. I'm never going to say no to that.
So speaking of maybe too much of a good thing, downlights.
Oh, yuck.
Everywhere?
No.
Use sparingly? Not at all?
No, they have a place. Definitely not everywhere.
Yeah.
They have their place, but usually There are directional downlights, so if you want to change the angle of them, you can. If you want to highlight a piece of art, something like that. There's also smaller spotlights. Task lighting in task areas are very important. Sometimes the humble downlight is the best solution.
Yes.
Elsewhere in the home, absolutely anything but a downlight. This is what I say to clients. I'm like, you are going to be shocked by how detailed what you would probably assume just your standard ceiling lights are, because there's a real science to lighting a space properly. And downlights are important in some cases. Yeah. They don't work everywhere.
I agree. I went crazy with a lighting plan with the electrician. Amazing. I was so excited about it. But to be honest, I rarely use the downlights.
Exactly. Yep.
It's everything else, sure.
Yep. Downlights are just for cleaning mode or task, like if you need to be really focusing on the kitchen counter or something like that.
Absolutely. Yep. Next question is TVs. A focal point in the living room or absolutely not?
Ideally, absolutely not. Like ideally, we'd all have this wonderful piece of custom joinery in the home that could conceal the TV behind, some chic panels or something. Yeah. But realistically, they will be out in a focal point for most people, including myself. And that's why I think the art TVs that we're seeing now are really, really good, because instead of having a black box on the wall, you can at least have something that you've tailored a little bit to the space. I also think if you can't avoid it being a focal point, you can position seating so it's conversational and not all facing that TV. That does help in the grand scheme of how you take in a room as well.
So when it comes to positioning the TV, I years ago lived in an apartment where the TV outlet was in a position where you could see it bang straight on as soon as you walked in. But I hated it. It was awful. So we got some extra long cables and just put them around the room and moved the TV. Yep. It was quite easy to do.
Very easy to do. And again, that was you knowing how you wanted to live, right? Yeah. So if you're trying to watch less TV or you don't want family time revolving around the TV, then that's exactly what you do. Yeah. If you've got the means and the flexibility in your home, I think the more discreet, the better, as long as it's still functional. Yeah. But, having said that, our new place, the one bane of my existence is how indiscreet the TV is. I said it to my husband. I was like, this looks ridiculous. But, we have to make compromise often unless you've got the means to be designing a dream home from scratch, which is absolutely wonderful, but that's not where the majority of us are going to be right this second. Yeah. So we've got to work with what we can.
Definitely. I like this question. What is one thing that you wish people would stop doing in Australian homes, either architecturally or decoratively?
Oh my God. Okay. I need to tread carefully here so I don't offend people.
I know. I'm not trying to be controversial.
I think if I had the first thing that comes to mind, which is what this is all about, right, the rapid fire, is renovating or making decisions based on what you believe will help resale. Because often that's the most boring all-white solution. And as discussed, Australians at this point are generally smarter than that and they're generally asking for more. Yeah. If something's been beautifully designed and it's unique and it's special, it's going to appeal maybe to a smaller amount of people, but people are going to get emotional about it. Yeah. And I sound like a real estate agent. Can you tell I'm married? And that's where if you're really, really concerned about resale and getting, this magical premium price, then don't you want people getting excited and emotional about the home instead of just you've gone to 6 open homes on a Saturday and they're all blending into one because they were all white.
You want to remember, the yellow one.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, my God, I loved the stone in that bathroom. Yeah. It could be as simple as that.
Yes.
You can't stop thinking about it. So I think it's that, and it's doing what you think you should do instead of, again, trusting your instincts.
So moving into a new home, here's our signature question. Okay. What will make your home beautiful?
Authenticity. I think filling it with things that we care about, that are meaningful, and doing so over time, and particularly with decorative items, you can absolutely tell when you walk into someone's home and every piece is meaningful, as opposed to they've gone out one Saturday and panic purchased all of their decor. So I think a home is beautiful when you get the spirit of the people that live in it.
Well, I can't wait to see the spirit of you in your new home.
You.
Hopefully you'll be sharing that.
Yeah, I will. It's going to be a slow process, again, because I like to take my time and get the right thing. I'd rather have an empty shelf, for example, and collect over time.
I couldn't agree more. Brie, it's been so gorgeous having you here at The Edit today, and I can't wait to have you back.
Thank you so much. I have absolutely loved this conversation.
I loved hearing about all the different rituals that Brie has. I mean, wearing shoes at home to signify you're working and her slippers when she's cleaning. I think I might adopt that. Brie, thank you for reminding us that the most timeless interiors, they're not the ones that win on Pinterest. They're the ones that look after the people who live there and just make the everyday easy. If today's conversation nudged you to move a lamp or repaint a wall or just to admit what colours you actually love, we'd really like to see it. So tag us at Home Beautiful and tell us what you're changing in your own sanctuary. You've been listening to The Edit, the show about your style and your sanctuary. If you enjoyed this episode, follow the show, leave us a rating, and share it with the person you always send home inspo to. And thank you so much for listening.